This is probably not going to be the true ending, by the way. Whatever that might be. Or the happy ending.
Are you cold? Oh, good hunter.
Okay. That makes sense. Now it all comes together, of course! You were a squid the entire time. My god, it all makes sense. Alright, so that is Bloodborne. My god, how many hours did I have in that? Like, if you count all my off time, not including just waiting around trying to get games, I probably put at least 70 hours into this. Both on and off camera combined, just running around, trying to find stuff, reading item descriptions and all that. Now, normally this is where... let me talk about the last fights real quick. I don't like boss rush type things like that, so I don't like that you had to fight 3 bosses in a row. That was a little bit tedious, but it helped that the first boss was like really easy. The last 2 bosses were pretty interesting though. I like those fights where it's more about being like agile and jumping around and fighting and, you know, things like that. I mean, it's cool that they had other fights like the nursery, things like that. That's cool. I like variety, but I like that more than, say, what was that fight where the enemy just had like a ton of hit points? Oh, the giant, where he's like really slow, but he hits like a truck and has a ton of hit points, so it's just a slog. I don't like those. But yeah, the last 2 fights were pretty interesting. Again, made easier for sure by the fact that I was way over leveled. I think we ended around 102 or so, give or take. I don't think Germain or whatever would have been too tough, even if I was the right level, especially since he's relatively easy to parry or stack, whatever you call it. I don't think it'd have been too bad. The last guy could have been tricky because he keeps doing that thing that just takes all your life, and that would have forced you to use health potions. I think the idea there, especially given his other ability, was that you just like... the idea was don't heal, or he'll have to rely on recovery healing. I think that's what they were going for. Using all your knowledge up until that point to, you know, dodge and learn his attacks and properly evade and all that. But ain't nobody got time for that. But anyway, so here is my overall thoughts. I usually give a short kind of review of the game during the credits, as many of you know. The game was just, I mean, obviously really bad, very poor, probably the worst game in the Dark Souls series, probably one of the worst RPGs I've ever... No, actually, no, obviously I'm full of shit. Fantastic game, very, very good. Excluding the story and all that other stuff, I have never, ever spent so much time in a game just running around outside of like maybe MMOs doing just random things like you know, trying to figure out the story. I spent so much time in game. Obviously I could have looked online, but that's killing the fun of it. I spent so much time running around reading item descriptions, trying different things, trying to find stuff. Now granted, it was a little disappointing that the vast majority of things that I tried that should have, I thought, elicited at least some kind of response didn't do anything, but it was still kind of cool that that element is there. I think, you know, when it comes down to it, there was maybe 3 things that were special that I was able to find. Like, you know, if you do this certain thing at this one location, something happens. And sometimes... And well, let's be honest, a lot of those times actually it was quite disappointing. The only one that I found interesting was the one that I kind of thought about but was kind of spoiled for me in regard to finding the way into the lecture hall. I'm trying to be somewhat vague. I don't know why somebody would watch the ending before the rest of the game, but anyway, but yeah, I've never spent so much time just thinking about it, even outside of the game, kind of running through the various parts of it, trying to put the story together in my head. I love that kind of stuff, and I've never spent that much time digging into the story in game as I have in this one. So huge kudos for that. Gameplay wise, what's funny is and this is kind of sound funny to say, especially given how I play Dark Souls and ended up playing this game, I like the more offensive. They try to get you to be more on the offense as opposed to Dark Souls, as opposed to being purely, well, not purely, but mostly defensive. It feels like in Dark Souls. You're much more offensive in Bloodborne. However, I really feel like that weapon that I was using, that great sword, I honestly think it was overpowered. It feels like the whip was underpowered. The whip should really scale better with skill earlier on, just to make it more viable. I think later on it was okay once it got upgraded a lot, and there were still circumstances where it was useful. And to be fair, it's a beginner weapon, so you shouldn't necessarily be able to use a beginner weapon all the way through the game. But I feel like the game, it was weak, and I just feel like that greatsword was ridiculously good. For various reasons: the damage, the range, and the fact that it staggered a lot of enemies made it incredibly useful, and ironically made me play more defensively, because I tended to back away from enemies to stay out of their range, because I could usually hit them with mine before they could hit me, or as a retaliation. So it kind of had the undesirable effects of making me play more defensive. If I'd have stuck with like the whip more of the game, I probably would have been a little bit more on the offensive. Though again, the whip itself does kind of want you to be defensive, because it doesn't really reward you with getting in their face. It wants you to kind of sit back. And I always forget the From Software credits are always really short, which I appreciate, by the way. I hate when games are like have 20-minute long freaking credits. But yeah, the combat's really good. Graphically, the game is phenomenal. Looks great. I love the settings. It is a little bit too samey, especially in the first like half of the game within the city. Way too many of the buildings and areas look very, very similar. There wasn't enough things that just stuck out, not enough landmarks to make it obvious where you were. I'm just curious what's about to happen. I'm not hitting nothing.
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry.
Was this the intro cinematic?
Whatever
I think it was.
happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
So who is that? Did we ever actually run into that guy? I don't really feel like we did. But I'll kind of talk over this since we've seen this in the beginning. The music was phenomenal as well. Some of the best game music I've heard in a while. I've actually loaded it up a few times at work. And I'm actually wearing my armor. That's pretty awesome. But and it looks like it does jump you straight into New Game Plus. I kind of liked in Dark Souls 2 that you kind of had to choose to go to New Game Plus, if I remember right. It didn't just kind of kick you in there. But still very hot, apparently. But yeah, overall, and the story, like I said, seems interesting. And I like that it doesn't just flat out tell you. Obviously, the whole squid thing at the end has some kind of relevance to something. I just haven't a clue what it is. You know, they'll just definitely talk about invertebrates and other weird creatures. I don't remember specifically aquatic type creatures like that. Hey guys, what's up? Can't wait for you to deliver all my messages and show me.
You found yourself a hunter.
Wow, exactly 230,000 souls. Nice. At least get back to the lamp. It's a lot brighter now because I brightened the TV up since I last played this. Oh, this is the clinic that you end up going to later. Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. Yeah, the lantern should be down here, I believe, right? It would normally be here. But yeah, definitely going to be one of my games of the year, without question. This should go a little differently than last time. Yeah. How'd that work out for you? Not as well as last, I imagine. But yeah, I definitely, and that's the thing, and that's an impressive thing in general as well, is that I do actually want to play New Game Plus. I actually want to play through the game again, see what I can find different this time, and just because, like I said, I'd probably try a different weapon, because as I mentioned a few times, I feel like this weapon's kind of overpowered. I feel like both being over-leveled and both being over-leveled and this weapon made things a little bit too easy in many cases, because like I was struggling with some stuff with the whip until I got the you actually take 2 hits. I wonder if the lamp doesn't show up at all until we die, maybe. He's not supposed to be this powerful yet. 1500, good lord. I imagine the New Game Plus is going to be kind of like it was in Dark Souls, where like for quite a while you're just going to obliterate everything, and then you're going to get to the point where then it starts to even out. Because I remember I didn't do a lot of New Game Plus on Dark Souls, but I got enough to get to like ONS, and I think that's where I got my first kind of stuck. What is that? I mean, now it's familiar, but I can't remember exactly what it is that makes that noise. And I would imagine I want to check to see if all the items in the thing are the same. I'd imagine they are, since a lot of them showed up because of the badges that we have. But oh, and let's talk about ritual, the ritual dungeons or the chalice dungeons. Honestly, I have. I don't actually remember this cinematic. I'm sure it happened, I just don't remember it. But yeah, fantastic game. And I can't believe I'm gonna, within literally a week from today, I'll be playing Witcher 3, which is going to be another fantastic game. Oh, huh. I'll take the saw cleaver. Why not? Blunderbuss? Sure. Thanks, guys.
Aha. You must be the new hunter.
I just kind of want to see what he says. Then we'll end up. We'll wrap up here shortly.
Hunter's dream. This will be your home for now. I am Gammon, friend to you hunters. You're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this.
Too late for that.
Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it. This was once a safe haven for hunters. A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the dog, should it please you.
Whoa, hey. Did he say that before? Did he say that before? That's pretty effed up. It makes it sound like all Japanesey. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Don't be judging me. You know exactly what I mean. Oh, this stuff is back in here. That's interesting. I can buy it again. Which makes sense, I guess, sorta. Okay, all this stuff is still here. I'll definitely be buying the burial blade. Oh, I can get the rest of that armor, too. Actually, there's only one thing left, I think. It was the Canehurst armor. We'll see what that looks like, and then we'll wrap her up. I'm gonna guess when we leave and come back, the doll will be up. Let's take a look and see how this looks real fast. And that will be it. I know, it seems like, Jesus, this guy will never end. This playthrough, but like I say, it's been a damn good game. There's definitely some cheesy shit in it that I don't like. I might do a full review of this game. I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to, that I never do, so I don't want to say that I will. Ooh, nice. That I'll definitely be doing it. But yeah, I would like to do a full review. Like I said, there was some stuff that I felt was poorly done, like the frenzy debuff. I feel like that was pretty cheesy. I felt like some bosses were kind of shitty, stuff like that. But for the most part, this has definitely been a phenomenal game. But anyway, I figured we'd also end with the top hat. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, props to anyone who actually watched this entire thing, because I know it's going to be at least 100 parts, and I know I dawdled around quite a lot. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.